this precipitate will get dissolved in excess of NaOH. This ZnOH twice reacts with excess of sodium hydroxide to give Na2 ZnO2 plus H2O, and this reaction we call amphoteric behavior because base reacts with alkali to give a soluble salt and water. So this is one important observation which you will not find in case of copper, ferrous or ferric, but it is there in case of zinc. So observation is gelatinous white precipitate and soluble in excess. Other three are insoluble in excess, but this one is soluble in excess. Last but not the least, that is your lead cation Pb2 positive. Same thing, aqueous solution you have to prepare. Take that in test tube, add sodium hydroxide. Why I am using sodium hydroxide? Because today we are taking the reagent that is sodium hydroxide, NaOH. This reagent we are using. Now in this case, curdy white precipitate. Color of the precipitate is just like the appearance of curd. So curdy white precipitate will be formed in case of lead salt. That is PbOH twice. And this PbOH twice is also soluble in excess of sodium hydroxide solution, because both zinc, lead, these are the metals which show this amphoteric behavior. So in this case also, for this one also, here you can write PbOH twice plus excess of NaOH, it will give Na2 PbO2 plus H2O. So in both the cases, that is zinc and lead, the precipitate will get dissolved in excess of sodium hydroxide. Whereas in the first three cases, that is copper, ferrous and ferric, precipitate will not get dissolved. And moreover, in case of ferrous, ferric and copper, you will obtain colored precipitate. But in case of zinc and lead, color is there. I am not saying that color is not there, but there is a very little thin line of difference is there. That is in zinc, it is white. But the word which you have to mention here, that is gelatinous white, just like gel. And in curd also it is white. But which kind of appearance you have to tell, that is curdy white. So with the help of this sodium hydroxide, we can find out the presence of copper cation, ferrous, ferric, zinc and lead in the unknown salt sample. Let's revise all the things which we have done today. The chapter is about analytical chemistry. Analysis means to find out the composition of the salt. Two types of analysis are there, qualitative and quantitative. In quantitative, we have to find out the percentage, and in qualitative, we have to find out cations and anions. And we are dealing here with the qualitative. And in qualitative, two types, there are two parts. Rather than types, I can say parts. Detection of cation and anion. And we are discussing here detection of cation, basic radicals. Copper Cu2 positive, ferrous Fe2 positive, ferric Fe3 positive, zinc Zn2 positive, lead Pb2 positive. So, and the reagent which we use here, sodium hydroxide. For sodium hydroxide and potassium hydroxide, you will obtain the same result. Color will remain same, only there is a difference in the reaction. The precipitate that remains same. And when we will discuss about ammonium hydroxide in our next lecture, then I will let you know the difference. So with the help of sodium hydroxide, for copper salt, blue color precipitate insoluble in excess, confirms presence of Cu2 positive. For ferrous salt, dirty green precipitate, FeOH twice insoluble in excess. For ferric, reddish brown precipitate, FeOH thrice insoluble in excess. For zinc, gelatinous white soluble in excess of NaOH. And for lead, curdy white, that is also soluble in excess of NaOH. Why these two precipitates are soluble in excess of NaOH? Because of amphoteric behavior, where these metal, they or their metallic oxide or their metallic hydroxide reacts with alkali to give salt and water. I believe detection of these 5 cations are clear to all of you. So revise it properly. Meet you soon. Thank you.